India's southwest monsoon has slowed sharply after its onset on June 4th. Large parts of the country are still waiting for sustained rain, widening rainfall deficits, and rising concerns about what will happen to the reservoir food prices. The big point here is this is not just El Nino. Multiple weather systems have together blocked the monsoon's normal march. Weather experts say that the pause is due to a combination of weak Bay of Bengal activity, dry northwesterly wind, poor MGO support, western disturbances, and Pacific systems pulling energy away. Without a strong low pressure area over the bay, the monsoon lacked the engine needed to push deep into India. Normally, a Bay of Bengal low pressure system pulls moisture inland and helps monsoon cover central, east, and north India. This time, winds stayed too straight and weakly convergent. Thunderstorms could not organize properly and the rain push lost strength. El Nino has made the background less favorable, but it has not acted alone. It has only amplified other weaknesses: poor moisture flow, no bay low, weak MGO, and repeated dry air intrusions. That is the reason this monsoon pause looks usually stubborn. Forecasters now expect conditions to improve in the late June. If the MGO turns favorable, the low-level jet strengthens and cross-equatorial winds pick up, India may finally see a proper monsoon revival, but the concerns remain. The delay has already hit the early rain window, so the monsoon has not been blocked by El Nino alone. It is a chain reaction: weak bay activity, dry winds, poor MGO support, Pacific disturbances, and fragile moisture flow. The real test now is whether late June brings a genuine revival or India enters July with a deeper rain deficit. On this issue, I'm joined by Anand Sharma, weather scientist, and Dr. KJ Ramesh, former DG IMD. Let me straight away go to Dr. Ramesh first. Sir, your opening comments.
Yeah, so far monsoon has been stagnant. It entered late 4th June, it entered Kerala and then moved up to Goa by 12th or so. And afterwards, movement of the monsoon advancement is not there. But on the eastern side, it is much better, at least up to half of Bihar, whole of West Bengal, Northeast India are already covered. So that side rainfall is not that bad. But whatever area rainfall already covered, we have a good distribution of rain. On the other side, which you were telling about the sowing, etc., if you see for the 15th June report of the crop weather watch group of the Ministry of Agriculture, where IMD and as well as the Central Water Commission reservoir status is mentioned. As on 15th June 2026, reservoir levels are close to 10-year average water levels for the middle of June. So even last year comparison, if you see the excess monsoon year last year, it was 96% of the last year's reservoir levels are there. Second source of irrigation is the groundwater. So groundwater level is 71% of India groundwater is in normal level. So groundwater supported irrigation and the reservoir supported irrigation are not so far detrimental. And if you see the acreage reported in that crop weather watch group report, only reduction of 3% is there for the pulses. But rest of the crops, sugarcane or rice or cotton and all other cereal crops, not much change in the acreage so far recorded and reported.
Absolutely. Mr. Anand Sharma, your opening comments. Are we looking at a monster El Nino, sir? And this is Mumbai, sir. This is Mumbai. People shouldn't have been on the beaches and sleeping. It is so hot. These are Mumbai beaches, sir.
Right. Yes, you're right. I mean, normal monsoon onset date over Mumbai is 10th of June. And we are not expecting monsoon till 24th or 25th. So almost delay of 15 days. And naturally, when in Maharashtra and these regions, when rain starts or active monsoon season starts, temperatures come down. So that's also not happening. So naturally, it is very hot and dry weather. So naturally, for respite, people move to the beach, and especially towards evening time, you have the winds coming from ocean, so that give you some kind of respite. But otherwise, definitely without monsoon, you have issues of water, especially in Mumbai. All your major major lakes, they are below their capacity, much below their capacity. And Mumbai, I think the government also in Maharashtra has issued warnings to the people to conserve water and reduce their water footprint. And in addition to that, I think we should also look into on long-term perspective, which is missing from the government side. We should do drought proofing. We should conserve and maintain our water bodies in proper way. We should check the leakages, but these things are not being done. And people are not aware how much water they should use. If you ask somebody, what is your daily water use, they will not be able to tell you. So if we can, whatever we are using on daily basis, if we can reduce it to half, our much of the problem will be sorted out. But then we are doing lots of wastage, and I will raise here the issue of poor governance,
Okay.
poor water management.
Okay, that is one thing. I get that. Poor water management is one thing. But what I really want to know right now is, Dr. Ramesh, can El Nino create a dry monsoon for us? Is it something which is already on its way and we are not talking about it? Because last time the big El Nino took place, historically, it has coincided with social unrest.
See, El Nino is building up. At the moment, it stands at 1.3 degrees centigrade warming over the equatorial Pacific.
Yes, yes.
It is expected to touch cross 3 degrees somewhere in October, November, September, October, November. That is the projection all the models are consistently showing.
Okay.
But at the moment, it is picking up. At the same time, we have another offsetting mechanism on the equatorial Indian Ocean, western equatorial Indian Ocean, particularly off Somalia, that is called Indian Ocean Dipole. Their warming possibilities, predictions are also happening. So that can go up to 1.5 degrees warming. That will definitely offset the El Nino negative impact on monsoon rainfall. So and the extent of offset, what we can see will be very clear in the month of July and August, but definitely some offsetting adverse impact from El Nino definitely clearly seen from the modeling system. Same modeling system which is predicting Super El Nino. And Super El Nino incidentally was there in 2015 also. We have recorded up to 2.54 degrees warming in 2015. And that time we were not calling it as Super El Nino. Now only Americans started calling it as Super El Nino or Godzilla El Nino, something like that.
Yes, yes. So now my question here is that, well, Americans didn't call it Super El Nino, but the fact of the matter is that neither we are prepared for it in terms of water conservation, which Mr. Sharma was talking about, nor there is a genuine chatter on it that global warming is leading to weather changes. So, Mr. Sharma, are we looking at dry span and a wet span and a dry span and a very short wet span? Are we looking at those weather patterns now, sir?
Look, see, monsoon, people generally think once the monsoon onset takes place, as if the God has opened the tap and it will run for 4 months. It's not like that,
Yes.
right? Monsoon arrives in pulses. One pulse has come, we have to wait for the second pulse. So that means in between you have dry spells, and sometimes there is a break monsoon conditions when you have certain conditions which develops when especially the monsoon trough shift to the foothills. So you have all westerly winds and dry weather most of the country. We call it break in monsoon. That also happens. And let me tell you, there are natural factors. We have a lot of natural climate variability. And these kind of things do happen. We have tackled such situation in the past, and we will be able to tackle in the future as well and now as well. Only thing is that we should do, as I said, we should have long-term planning, not short-term planning.
Okay.
Every year this kind of problem happens, then we forget it, and next year arrives, again the problem is the same.
Okay.
That means we need drought proofing. We need water harvesting policies. We need to conserve and revive our
Okay.
lost lakes and water bodies. We have to develop alternate sources of water, maybe some dam somewhere, or maybe water salination and other kind of things. On even for agriculture, we have to go for millets. or short duration crops which can survive under dry conditions as well. And then any farmer, if he or she is growing crop, they should have at least one or two life-saving irrigation. If you have that,
Okay.
then I think your crop will survive. But these kind of policies are on paper, but they are not
Okay.
being implemented.
Okay, let me take closing comments from Dr. Mish. Are we looking at a change geographical spread of monsoon also? This is something very close to my heart. I've suddenly realized in last so many years, Rajasthan and the western part of country is becoming wetter, and the eastern part and the other parts which was so wet are receiving moderate rainfall. Is this climate change, sir?
Yes, 100%. From 2002 onwards, this shift has been noticed. That's how we are seeing western part of India, particularly Rajasthan and Gujarat, West Madhya Pradesh. We are seeing floods, Jodhpur, Balmer, and several parts of Gujarat. So that shift has happened in the rainfall. Increase on the western side, decrease on the Gangetic Plains and Northeast India has been the case of climate change driven rainfall distribution transformation, and reduction in Northeast India doesn't concern much because rainfall quantities are more than 1000 centimeters per year. So even 10% less, 15% less doesn't matter there. But the Gangetic Plains, some of the eastern part of India dependent on rain-fed agriculture. So significant part of it is fed by Ganga, Yamuna, and other
Yes.
Himalayan rivers.
Yes.
So impact of that reduction is not much. The benefit of increase here is helping agriculture, particularly rain-fed agriculture in Rajasthan and West Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat.